Hey folks, Dude here. Well, this is going to be kind of a cool piece. We now basically have ourselves in the undisclosed secret location. There is nothing but orange groves around us. We are in an undisclosed location, and I'm going to have to break off while we gain entry. I don't want to give too much information away about like where we are in actuality, but you'll see some cool stuff. Stand by. Did I mention I basically have a police car, almost, kind of, sort of, maybe, kind of a driving type thing? These are fun at night, by the way, because nobody knows you're not a cop. They get out of your way and they turn signal a lot. Time to go into the location. I'm going to call this area 54. I used 53 already, so this is area 54. I'm going to go in there now and show you guys what we got. Oh, okay. We are in some place, obviously, coal. Seeing rifle stocks. The copious amount of ammunition that, oh, geez. What do we got here? That's right. We've got Scott. What's up, Scott? Scott happens to be the guy who has what corporation, sir?
HYDROPRInt Services.
That's right, folks. If you guys want to get your rifle to look, well, extra spiffy. Well, is this an exhibit of your work right here?
It is.
Okay, this right here is a 50 caliber rifle. Oh man, the depth of color in this thing. I don't know if the camera's really going to show it or not, but
we can move it over in some better light for you in a minute.
Oh, is that skulls?
It is.
Dude, that is bad. It's got this three-dimensional kick, like you don't want to know.
That's our Reaper pattern.
Now, you say basically you can also do like different base colors, and it really gives it like you know, different patterns, and it really makes it a completely different thing unto of itself. Oh man, on the compensator, all along the barrel.
Now this one actually has a candy clear over it. So
I see that. It's got like a little
blue
kick.
candy to it.
It's got a kick. Man, I wonder what that thing would look like in Twilight. So you have that like artist's son.
Twilight.
Yeah,
we don't do vampire stuff.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. No, I mean like, you know, that artist light. We kind of have that last bit of like golden light. You know, where you kind of have like the best time to take pictures.
Well, when I finished it up yesterday, actually, I took it out into the sunlight and about had to put my sunglasses on. It was that fabulous.
Oh, are we talking fabulous or Sulu fabulous?
The former.
The former. Okay, yeah. It's not San Francisco fabulous, folks. This thing actually makes, well, stuff goes downrange. Not the kind of
big
wrong.
Bullets.
Big bullets. Okay, let's do a little bit of, a little action shot here. Oh, good stuff. All right, well, dude, you were thinking of putting some rounds out, weren't you?
Yeah, in a few minutes.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Oh, man, we got loading presses, and, oh man, this is like gun porn. All right, folks, I'm going to break off on this one. We'll have another segment coming up. All right, so now we basically have to have something to work on. So, Scott, dude, what do we got?
Well, we've got a CAV ARMS Lower here and some handguards that you graciously donated to the cause. Translation, yeah. You want some free stuff out of it.
Well, suspiciously enough, yes, that is my firearm.
Thankfully, you've taken care of a little of the prep for us. You disassembled it. We do have an armor that works with us that is perfectly capable of disassembly and reassembly. We, of course, charge accordingly for that. So if you have the skills, you might as well put the money back in your pocket. But you did, by strange coincidence, send me a dirty firearm. And that's something I definitely charge for.
Okay, all right.
You don't send me a clean gun, you're getting charged for it.
Okay, if you guys have it really scrunched up, take the thing, just jump in the shower with it. I mean, it's polymer. You're not going to hurt it. Even an alloy receiver, you're not going to hurt it by taking a shower with it, will you?
Regular cleaning will suffice, but yeah, if it comes to me all crudded up full of grease and powder fouling and all that stuff, yeah, you're getting charged for it.
Clean your gun.
Clean your gun.
Clean your gun.
But you should before you send it to me.
Well, because that takes away from your production time.
It does.
So
that's exactly it.
You got to mess around with this thing. You have to scrub it all out because you can't put dirty stuff into your dip tank or it's toast.
Right. And like I said, everything does get detail stripped. You can notice this is completely empty. There's no internal parts to it. If it's relevant to the pattern that we're doing, We will do a color match on things like your selectors and the portion of your trigger that's exposed, your mag release buttons, things like that, to kind of make the whole package. Because you don't want, say, like for example, we've got one gentleman that's got a completely white AR. He built a completely white AR by sending us and having us Cerakote various pieces and parts over time. Well, he doesn't want a black trigger and black pins sticking out of his otherwise completely white rifle. So, we make the whole package.
So you had a powder coat, or you had a Cerakote, all the internals as well.
We did every square centimeter of that rifle. The only exception was the markings on the scope. He wanted to maintain the markings on the scope, so we did some very careful masking with that. You can see, I don't think that one is on our website yet, but you can see examples of the kind of things that we do.
Now, that was the other thing, too. I noticed that there's some scopes that you will state most empathetically, if you send this to us and it drowns, it's on you.
It's on you. Absolutely. From my little bit of limited research, hydroprinting does not void the warranty of most scope manufacturers. Realistically, if you've got a decent quality sealed scope, it's going to be just fine.
Hang on a second, man. I got a decent NC Star here. You want me to just throw that in the tank for you?
Sure, and it's on you.
Oh.
We do have a waiver for optics that we require. That being said, I've dipped Tascos that have survived just fine. I've dipped Swarovskis that have survived just fine. I've dipped multiple $1,000 PVS 14s, and they survive just fine.
I would gather anything that's above a certain price point, you can assure yourself it's not going to drown.
You would think. So anyway, back to what we're doing here. We've got everything disassembled. The first thing we need to do is degrease all this stuff because it's oily and nasty, and so we're going to take it over to our sink and hose it down.
Okay, let's break off on this one then. All right, so this is the high-tech part where
This is the high-tech part. Hey, look, there's Dune. Gotcha.
I'm wearing my shirt today. Let's see, I'm wearing my Buzz Lightyear shirt.
Nice, nice. So we're going to take a little bit of simple green here on this plastic. It won't hurt anything. We don't like to use it on aluminum, but we've got some other products that we use for that. Give it a little scrub down just to get any oil or other residue off of there.
Mold release, all the rest of that stuff.
The mold release is actually taken care of in the next step. We've got, this one didn't seem to have too much of it. I'm not going to worry too much about it. But we do have the ability to flame treat things when that's needed and whatnot. But we have this other product that is actually a liquid deglosser. Depending on what the stuff is, sometimes it goes into the blast cabinet and we'll blast it with some aluminum oxide to give it some tooth for the coatings to stick to. Sometimes we'll just be able to use this stuff and we'll be good to go. So we're going to squirt a little bit of that on there. Hit it with our little green Scotch Brite pad and give it a little scuff, just to give it a little extra help, because, we don't want our plastics to fail. That's just tacky, or not. Now, I do want to mention we have a 1-year warranty on our coating. We offer, a 1-year warranty against basically manufacturer defects when I screw something up. We've been doing this for a few years now, and thus far, knock on wood, I've only ever had 3 things come back with all the stuff that we've had come through the thing.
That was like something to laminating?
One of them was, I'm pretty sure the guy screwed it up when he was trying to take it apart because it looked like some punch marks on it, but, we fixed it. We don't want to make a habit of that, but the other one, we actually, I was very grateful that it was a good friend of mine. He had brought me something to Cerakote, and we had the temperature controller in our oven fail.
It melted it.
No. Actually, it undercooked it.
Oh.
It was reading the wrong temperature, so he took it home. It was a pistol. He ran it in and out of his holster about half a dozen times, and the Cerakote started coming off. Well, that's not,
it should
by
never
any
do
stretch
that.
of the imagination, it shouldn't ever do that. Cerakote is like ridiculously tough stuff.
Cerakote's like the only stuff they approve for the U.S. Navy SEALs.
Thankfully, like I said, it was a good friend of mine. We fixed it. Problem solved. We found out the problem with our oven and got that squared away, and we were back in business. So it wasn't something that we had to ship across country or something like that, to find out. All right, we got these degreased. We're going to go hang them up to dry, and we'll move on to some other stuff.
Cool. Rock and roll. All right.
More light you
They weren't quite good enough. We have to now torture them further.
We looked a little closer, and it does look like they still got a little bit of the mold release on them, so we're going to get rid of that by fire. This is called flame treating, or sometimes they call it corona treating. And basically all it's doing is burning off the extra mold release and opening up the pores of the plastic to allow things to adhere a little bit better. Doesn't really take much. You're just kind of warming it up. I'm using a MAP gas torch here, so it's a little bit hotter than your average propane, and it's real easy to melt and do handguards. You want to watch?
No, I think we're good.
Pansy.
Call me silly in that regard.
Here, hold those.
Warm.
A little warm, not too bad. All right, let's go spray some adhesion promoter.
Sweet.
A few more times.
Okay, camera problems. Okay, so like we're saying, up to this point, the Cerakote process follows this.
A lot of the process is the same. There's a few extra steps for each that are different, but basically, you know, you're prepping for a paint job. When people ask me about it, I kind of liken it to an automotive quality paint job, because that's essentially what you're doing on each and every little piece.
And everything that you didn't fix beforehand shows through and makes the process look like hell.
It does. So that's why we didn't get a video of it, but you saw me, you know, filing away on your lower there, where there was some mold parting lines and things like that left over from the CAV ARMS mold folks. And you know, if we didn't take care of that before you coated it, well, you obviously can't take care of it afterwards. You don't want to file on your paint job, right?
You'll take the paint right off because
Absolutely.
you're going to be trying to take off the stuff underneath it.
Absolutely.
It's like you're just trying to take the snow off the valley by making the valley flat.
This is Florida. We don't do snow in valleys.
You don't do
No.
Okay, the orange avalanche. You're trying to remove the orange avalanche to get to the dirt underneath.
There you go. You got it. All right, we'll get these hung and over into our spray room.
Oh, okay, he's putting tabs and tape and wire and.
One of the things you'll notice when we go in and look in our drying room, you'll see a bunch of stuff that's in various states of completion, and you'll see a little tape flag on just about every piece. Very good reason for that. We got a lot of stuff coming through at any given time. I don't want to mix folks' stuff up.
That's not good stuff.
And there's a lot of little pieces and parts, you know.
Some of it can look very similar, especially when you start talking AR.
A lot of it looks very similar.
A lot of it looks very similar. Okay, so you know your stuff's going to come back to you because he's marking it before he does
Absolutely.
anything to it.
Every piece, every time. Knock on wood, I don't replace very many pieces. I will admit I have occasionally lost a screw here or there, kicked it under the bench, can't find it, but those are few and far between, and we always replace them.
I like Brownells for that one.
Oh yeah.
Brownells is awesome. It's like you call them with a 1-800 number and you say, you know, hello computer. Computer goes, yes, what would you like to know? What would you like to do? We have you on file. Your customer number is blah, blah, blah. Would you like to use the same credit card? You go, why, yes. I'd like to have this part, this part, this part, this part, and this part. And you get it within 2 days.
Most of the time, yeah.
They are slicker than hell, man. That process is painless.
Dude.
Okay, so we have both of the handguards now marked, and we now know, no matter how much you paint them, they're mine.
I think we should turn them pink.
Oh, that'd be Mrs. Dude's rifle. Oh, what did I get into? Dude, is that Pepto-Bismol?
No, it's Muddy Girl.
Muddy Girl?
Yeah, you remember we said Muddy Girl?
Muddy Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, what is Muddy Girl?
Muddy Girls is a lovely shade of pink camouflage that we're going to spray some paint here for.
Okay, now I got to ask you, what kind of a high-dollar apparatus do you have going on here?
It's called a spray gun.
Oh, like the things you see in the car paint area. Okay, never mind.
It's exactly what it is.
Okay.
In fact, the paint that we use for our base is very similar to automotive paint. It's a very high-grade automotive paint is essentially what a lot of it is.
Okay.
And we have custom colors mixed, either mixed for us or sometimes we mix them here in-house, depending on, because there are certain base patterns that you have to have. Like, for example, with the multicam that we're going to be doing on your rifle, you know, in order to be licensed for that multicam, we have to agree to do their base color and their color scheme for the multicam and not vary from that. Now, some of them we can change up, like, you know, we've got some generic patterns like our carbon fibers or marbles or some of the other camos that we can change. That Reaper one that we showed earlier on the 50 caliber, I can make that any color I want. It can be pink skulls, it can be red skulls, it can be blue skulls.
That's pretty cool. All right, so you basically have loaded the gun, and what are we going to shoot?
We're going to go into our spray room and do a little painting. Let's get our masks on. Since we're basically spraying the same color on your parts as they are, we're going to go ahead and paint something else in the meantime so you can kind of see what we're doing with that. You know, we got to be real careful. A lot of masking happens. We don't want to run into tolerance issues, so you know, things, internals all get masked off and stuff like that for the HYDROPRINT. Cerakote's a different case. It's thin enough that we can put it on just about anywhere and not worry too much about it. But you know, we'll mask off magazine wells, we'll mask off the insides of slides, things like that, so that we don't run into any functional issues there. It does kind of look like crypto business, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does, man.
We'll go ahead and take this over to our dust-free room and let it dry for a while, and we'll move on to your project.
Did I mention there's going to be some bonus footage? Look at that grin. He's happy. He gets to squeeze some trigger time.
This is one of Richard's rifles from SOLA Custom. He built some precision long-range rifles, some really pretty spiffy stuff on the Remington 700 platform. I'll let him tell you all about it later.
All right, go ahead and squeeze that long range banger.
I moved it. There we go.
Didn't get a show in.
All right, take two. Take two. This time he's sure there's a roundup.
I'm sure there's a round in it this time. Whether it's going to go off or not, you know, but...
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm impugning Richard's hand-loading skills now. Because he made a mockery of me. It's probably a good thing that last one didn't go off, because I think I flinched a little.
I think that was a certifiable bang.
It was.
Did you hit the target?
I hit the target. I don't know if I hit where I was aiming.
Oops. Maybe we should go back to hydroprinting. Scott's target work aside, Rich's target work is pretty dang impressive. And you say these were the lighter bullets, not the 175s, but it likes the 168s.
168 grains.
So it obviously likes what it's shooting on that one. That's like a scant 1-inch cloverleaf both times, if that. Was that one of those dreaded, silent dry fire rounds?
That was a dry fire. Making sure I'm not flinching this time. Shoot one more.
Yeah, think that all's in there.
That thing really does not move, man. It just slight little jump.
Those two were nice and close. I must have flinched on that first one. I didn't feel it, but I must have.
It's easy to...
I like it. As much as I'm not a bolt action guy, I like it.
Hit, no hit, or completely off.
Touching the first round.
Same hole, huh?
Darn near.
Nice. And also you're trying not to fling your brass everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that was a worker, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to head back in and play with Scott some more.
Not a problem. Sounds good.
Enjoy. Alright, I've switched off to the high definition camera now so I can show you guys some detail and stuff. But this is basically just the holding area where he puts stuff. until it actually gets more of the process and gets cleared up and what have you. You know, like you can see the barrel in this one's been worked on, and this is the base color, and when it gets done it's going to look like this, but it still needs to have more stuff done to it. Obviously that's the skulls with the zombie green motif. Obviously this is somebody's stuff there, and it's getting other stuff done to it. It's got like little eyes, and it's really crazy looking. This one I find impressive as all get out. This is an AR-10 that has like skulls. Oh, I cannot tell you how cool this thing looks up and close and personal. It is just completely bulldog. Really seriously cool stuff he's done here. I mean, like the way the magazines look and the way these forends look. I mean, like this is a MI, so another MI there, and you know, the depth of color on these things and just the sheer appearance on them is just nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, I don't want to show like serial numbers here, so I'm not going to show that, but the skulls in this zombie green, man, they I cannot tell you how cool this stuff looks. So yeah, if you guys are looking for interesting patterns, you know, of course look on his website, you know, and of course that's always going to be the annotations, going to be in the channel, you know, the video description, and of course all the good stuff like that there, and you guys will know where to go to get this stuff done. And well, you also do Cerakote too, so you have processes that if this isn't tough enough, you have the Cerakote, which is tough enough. Oh dude, you didn't do that to mine, did you?
Here's your handguards and the muddy grill like we talked about, dude.
Oh hell.
It's going to look classy.
Yeah, I'm not going to San Francisco, okay? Can we touch it up?
Okay, fine.
All right, thank you.
So we've rebase coated your handguards in the tan, because you don't like the muddy girl, so we'll do the multicam.
I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me.
I always thought you were fabulous, but you know, I guess not.
I do not set my favorite phaser on fabulous.
All right, so what we've got here is a roll of HYDROPRINT film. In fact, it's a brand new roll. I'm going to slice it open for the very first time. One of the things that we have to deal with a lot here is humidity, being in Florida. And this film is actually very sensitive to humidity, so we have to keep it in here in the air conditioning.
Oh, wait a minute, though. You're basically taking something, you're floating it on water. Isn't that pretty humid?
It's very humid. However, when we float it on the water, what happens to it?
It separates from the backing.
It softens and liquefies, yeah. So, in order to make it actually, it also gets really flimsy. You can see it's fairly, you know, you can handle it right now. The minute we walk out of this air conditioning and out into the unair-conditioned portion of the shop, this stuff's going to start to shrivel up and curl up, and it's going to be limp as a, well,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. All right, so now is this roughly about the same thing as like gelatin almost?
It's actually, the film is printed on something called PVA. You're probably familiar with it as Elmer's glue.
You're kidding me.
PVA is what Elmer's glue is made of, and that's what the base stock of this film is.
So it's basically milk protein.
Essentially. It's a polymer. It's a polyvinyl acetate, I think it is, if I remember. I don't know. Look it up.
Okay.
That's what Google's for. But essentially, it's a water-soluble polymer. And they print it with a special ink. And as you can see, this one actually, this is our multicam film. You can see it's a licensed pattern. Right here, you can see it's actually got the official Cry multicam logo in it and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like Marine Corps pattern.
It's the real stuff.
Yeah.
There are some imitations out there. They're not the real stuff, you know. It is what it is. But you'll notice parts of this are clear. You can see, if I put my blue glove behind there, you can see, like I mentioned before, multicam is one where we have to use a specific base coat. In order to get the verified colors and the official licensed colors, we have to use their official specified base coat, because that base coat then shows through where the clear on the film is. On some of our other films, like the skulls, for example, you were just talking about.
Oh, the skulls are cool, man.
I'll show you some skulls.
And you have a big roll of skulls.
Oh yes, we use a lot of skulls. It's probably our most popular pattern, to be honest. But you can see the majority of this pattern is clear. So whatever base color, whether it be orange, silver, blue, yellow, pink, that you put down on your pieces to begin with.
Zombie green.
Zombie green. That's how you're going to get those zombie green skulls.
That is cool,
now,
man.
We can also do things like color fades. We just did some softball helmets for a team recently, where we took in, we based the entire helmet in a fluorescent yellow, and then from the back of the helmet forward, we did a color fade with a dark green and faded it out into the yellow. And then we did their little logo on the front in the that same green, and on the back we contrasted it with each player's number in that fluorescent yellow. It really popped out and looked really sharp. In fact, there's some good pictures on our Facebook page.
Yeah, definitely friend his Facebook. If nothing else, definitely check out his website. All the links will be down below in the channel description, or the video, I keep saying channel, the video description, and you'll have all these places to look at and all these resources which to avail yourself upon. There is so much cool stuff on his website. I cannot do it justice. I mean, literally the picture's worth 1,000 words. Truly.
Sadly, the pictures aren't all that great. Because, as you've seen yourself, and we'll show you a few of our examples here, you know, looking at the pictures is like, wow, that's really cool. But then when you get to see it, touch it, feel it, and see how it wraps all the way around the piece, and it gets into all the nooks and crannies and stuff, it's 10 times cooler.
And, of course, that has a three-dimensional pop.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff, man.
All right, so we're going to slice off a chunk of film here. I'm going to guess your handguard's about yay big. We always give ourselves a little bit extra, and you'll see why when we get out onto the water. What's going to happen when it gets to that humidity? See how it's already starting to curl up?
Wait a second. I'm not going to have a pink background on this thing, am I?
Well, we'll see.
All right.
You see how it's already starting to curl up? That's going to be a problem. When we lay it on the water, it's actually going to try and do that, and there's some little trade secrets that we use to keep that from happening.
Paper clips?
Not even close.
I'm thinking Dance of Cabana Girls, but okay. Well,
No.
we'll have to go to that segment next, I guess.
It's trade secret.
Trade secret. Oh, in other words, that means I have to put my hand in front of the camera and don't show anything.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, folks, we have to break off a trade secret. All right, so now basically you got this thing all
We've got our
stretched
film
out.
ready to go, and I've got these little gizmos to hold it and help me hold it flat when I lay it on the surface of the water.
Okay, so we go over here to the dippy tanky.
Ooh, doesn't that look tasty? You want a straw?
No, I'm going to pass,
Oh,
man.
come on.
I know it's Florida, I should stay hydrated, but yeah, I'm going to pass on that.
We're going to lay our film on the water here, being very careful not to get any air bubbles in it trapped.
Film
We're gonna start
on
our
the
timer.
water.
One of the things that's critical with the HYDROPRINT is your time and your water temperature. Well, actually, those are two things, aren't they? Any variation in those, and also in the amount of the activator that you spray, will result in vastly different colors on your pieces, and none of your parts will match. That's where the art comes in. It's a little bit of science and a whole lot of art when you're coming to this stuff. Right now what I'm doing is just damming the film in a little bit so that it doesn't float away on me when I spray the activator on it.
Activator?
Activator. It's a chemical. It turns this stuff from a solid floating on the water to a liquid floating on the water. It's kind of fancy.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's kind of looking right now like it's just kind of shrinking up a little bit.
It is. It's basically hydrating that PVA that we talked about. You can see it's still more or less relatively solid.
It is.
Now in just a few seconds here, I'm going to spray this stuff on it, and you'll get to see it go from a solid to a liquid. If you can get where you see the sheen from the lights, it will become real obvious.
It just changed up completely.
Watch. It's going. Takes a few seconds. Now check this out. Now it's a liquid.
Oh, that's so cool.
So we're going to take our part here, and we're going to go right on in. And Viola, you got multicam.
That is bad.
Let's go rinse it off, all the extra goo.
Let's, yeah.
You see my glove there? How you know?
You got multicam
I got
gloves.
multicam, but blue.
That's cool. We'll break off on this. Say, what do you call this high-dollar rinse device you got here?
We call this a sink.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we actually have a fancy big old rinse station over there behind me, but we kind of had to disassemble it the other day to fit that 50 cal in it. So until I put it back together in the next day or two, I'm using this method. Now what I'm doing is basically just rinsing off the extra PVA, all that goo that was floating in the ink, and we're going to rinse this off, and then we'll hang it up to dry, and then we'll give it some clear coat.
Dude, that is a sick process.
Good cut.
Ah, I love this. Multicam is one thing, but digital is something else entirely. You know what? I think I'm going to try my hand at this. And you said it's actually, well, it's almost foolproof.
It's foolproof. Definitely not dude-proof, though. No.
I'm not a fool, but I am a dude.
You know, in all truthfulness, you know, we make it look easy because you're not seeing all the prep work that's going into it. Like I said, you know, you're doing essentially an automotive quality paint job on each and every little piece. So you've got all the prep and all the labor involved in that.
And you get what you pay for.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of companies out there doing this stuff now that have kind of recently broken into the market. Like I said, we've been doing it for a few years. But you know, I truly do believe that you do get what you pay for. We're very detail-oriented, like I mentioned before. You know, that other company that, you know, with all the overspray and things like that, you know, there's just no reason. There's no reason to take those shortcuts and to not do it right the first time.
Okay, so basically it's sitting on there. We're waiting for the timer, correct?
Correct.
Have 60 seconds. Hit it with the activator, and then I dip the part in there.
Yep. And then once you dip it in, go nice and slow. Once you dip it in, you bring it out. Your part's finished.
Okay, I'm simply going to do this easy. I'm just going to do a popsicle stick. Okay, I can handle a popsicle stick. I'll be digitally processing a popsicle stick. And of course you hit it with the activator. Okay, now we got to wait for it. Wait for it.
Turn that annoying beep off.
Wait for it.
Alright, you should be good to go.
Okay, let's just give it a little dip and just say keep dipping, keep
Nice
dipping,
and slow, all the way
keep
to get
dipping,
the whole part.
keep
The
dipping.
whole part.
The whole part.
Keep going, yep.
The whole
Yep,
part.
there you go.
Up.
Alright.
Wait, where am I supposed to stop at?
Oh, as long as you got the whole part, you should be good.
Uh-oh.
Dude, did you not put on a glove?
No. You did say this stuff is non-toxic, right?
It's non-toxic, but it is a permanent process. You realize that, right?
Where's the sink? Where's the sink? Guys, I'm going to break off on this one, and possibly, you know, some hospital call might be taking place. Is it coming off? Oh, dude. Dude. Oh, dude. Is this stuff coming off? Desperate means deserve desperate measures. I'm not going through life like this. I'm just not. I'm not. All right, we got one final dip, and the Muddy Girl is not for my stuff, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. No more Muddy Girl. He thought it looked good in pink. I didn't. He's the one driving the bus. Yeah, unfortunately, folks, this did cause a few amount of small skin abrasions, but I did finally get the stuff off of me. Non-toxic, but permanent. I wish you told me that before I started dipping the stupid stick down to the bottom of the tank.
Where's the fun in that?
Oh, yeah, that's just like the little kid playing with the first thing that he should never be playing with, correct? Yeah. Okay, so this is Muddy Girl, the pink camouflage.
One of the pink camouflage.
Oh, one of the pink camouflages.
Several pink camos, and we even have a purple camo.
That would be for San Francisco.
We've actually got, I think we're at around 350 different patterns, if I remember right. And then we can do variations, like, for example, with the skulls, where we can, you know, make pink skulls, red skulls, blue skulls. So there's a lot more than what you see on the website. And we're kind of pretty much limited by your imagination and your pocketbook, really.
Kind of like the old racer line, how fast you want to go is how much you want to spend.
There you go.
Okay, now there was that one cool picture you guys look up. It'll be in the video. There's a transition of the skulls from 3 different colors. It's only thing that's different on that is the background color. So literally, Scott here has a palette, a veritable rainbow of stuff that he can do. Man, is that cool. That is just too cool for school. All right, folks, on that one, I think we're going to be breaking off. Scott, I know you want me to talk to your gun guy, so we're going to do that next. But this is the end of the HYDROPRINT section, but he's now going to do a rinse, and we'll go from there. Good times. So this is the end of the HYDROPRINT section, but we got a whole bunch of other stuff that you can always check out. Go to his website. Definitely look up his company, and all the contacts and everything are definitely in the video description. So go ahead and do that, and I'm going to stop looking at this nasty, muddy, yucky, icky, what? Dude, I think I see something swimming in here. All right, I said we're ending the HYDROPRINT section. I didn't say we're ending the video. Scott, what did you do to this piece here?
Well, this is actually a test piece I did for a project we just finished up, and I don't have it up on the website yet, but I had a gentleman ask me if we could do multicam Cerakote.
Nobody does that.
Pretty much, as far as I've been able to tell.
Nobody does that.
There's some folks out there that are trying, and they're getting really close. Again, it's not an exact reproduction of multicam, but if you look at the two side by side, it's pretty doggone close. The colors are pretty much on the money. The patterns are there. It's you know,
And it's a cylindrical piece, so it's not easy.
It doesn't have the little word multicam in it, but as you can see, it is a very labor-intensive process. I'll be the first one to tell you it's not cheap, but you know, when you want the very best, you got to be willing to shell out the coin, I guess.
And of course, you do actually do that process because it's right there. So guys, HYDROPRINT and Cerakote, Cerakote being, well, basically like a Glock slide finish, man. It's tough stuff.
Yeah. Actually, we redo a fair number of Glock slides because it's tougher than the black oxide they put on there.
Okay, that's really saying something. Now, of course, you also have Richard on board here, so let me swing around Richard. And Richard, you're the guy on staff. You are the gun guy. I know you guys actually do hold FFL, so you actually do on-site production. You do actually do gunsmithing, and you do modifications, and of course you do builds. You are definitely the 700 guy. And, of course, you guys are SOT and Title II and all the rest of it.
We can do all your NFA stuff.
So you can do machine guns, you can do silencers, you can do all the rest of that good stuff. Richard, you want to add anything about, like, you know, your hands-on stuff?
We just do custom builds of any caliber rifle that a customer desires and any combination of finishes that they would like.
Okay.
Richard's selling himself a little bit short here.
Okay, now the gun side obviously is not the HYDROPRINT. What is the gun company side called?
SOLA Custom Firearms.
So it'd be SOLA or SOL?
SOLA. You'll see a link down in the bottom. I'm sure Dude will take care of that.
I'll definitely put that on board.
But like I said, Richard's kind of selling himself a little bit short on that. He's a very, very talented custom gunsmith and custom rifle maker. He builds some absolutely phenomenal, just precision rifles. In fact, we'll get you to take a look at a couple of them here, and he can tell you about some of the features.
All right, let's just check that section out next. Oh, gun safe is open. That's a good sign. Okay, so let's see what we got here.
We're going to set some stuff out here for you, Dude. Give us just a second.
Oh man, who built the chassis?
I do.
That would be Richard at SOLA.
You mill out the whole chassis.
The entire thing.
That is custom CNC machine from billet aluminum.
Wow.
Comes anodized in the color of your choice, or we can, of course, hydroprint it.
You can hydroprint it any color.
Take a look over here. We've got one that is hydroprinted.
I love that laminate, man. I remember looking at that one outside when you were squeezing off the rounds. That thing's just gorgeous.
Yeah, that is a truly beautiful stock.
You know what? Even in billet aluminum, that thing looks dressier and all get out when you start putting the hydroprint on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it just pops. It really does just pop. Man, are these both 308 or is one Magnum?
No, those are all 308s.
Okay, so you're definitely a 7.62 type of guy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Is there any other ones that are jumping out that you want me to put an eyeball on?
Yeah, I'll throw a couple more down there.
Oh, OD. OD.
And these are not finished because these are getting Cerakoted when they're done.
I believe you were saying that was a Macmillan stock, correct?
No, it's a Bell & Carlson.
Bell & Carlson, even better. Oh, man.
Tell them what else you've done to those rifles.
They get, the actions get trued, the bolts get trued, they get lapped in, all the lugs are lapped, the threads are redone on the receiver, the scope mounts get opened up to 8x40s, bolt handles get changed out to tactical knobs and different sweeps of styles of handles on them. Pretty much the receiver is completely gone through and redone so that everything is square and true. They get a new trued up recoil lug. The barrels are custom cut for whichever caliber the customer would like.
So you get it square from inside, outside, and all the points there in between, basically to a common line of reference.
Yes.
That's to accuracy.
And I'll tell you what, this man can cut some threads that the fit of would make you cry.
I saw you had a lathe out there, so obviously you have fun with stuff.
Yes, I enjoy doing that. And these are just a few examples of rifles that have been done. And we also make the stocks.
I saw pieces of them over there on the wall. That's really kind of cool. All right, folks, so SOLA Custom HYDROPRINT and goodness with Scott. All the links will be underneath on the video description. I don't want to make this video too terribly long, but I want to give you guys kind of a heads up on how to do stuff here. And let's just say that there is definitely some hotter things in Florida than merely the weather, and I think it's definitely these firearms and the process which they do to them. All right, guys, so I'm going to break off on this one. Eat good, keep it a 10 ring, and as always, you know it, you love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this long video, but I think it was worth it. And I actually got the stuff off my hand, too. Guys, thank you so much. Rich, appreciate your hospitality.
Not
Scott, thank you. Thank you so much for coming over to let me come over.
Yeah,
you let me come over.
We should have gone for the pink.
We're not going for the pink. All right, folks, we're going to break off on this one. See you guys. All right, I think I may have lied. There's some bonus footage, and we have some obviously yumminess. This is HYDROPRINT, right?
This is HYDROPRINT, yes.
Okay, how tough is this? How many rounds has been through this individual firearm?
This is my demo gun. This is my my abuse gun, if you will. This gun has just a little bit over 15,000 rounds through it currently since I dipped it.
Okay, and it has not cooked off.
Nope. I've been trying to cook the barrel off by doing Betamax dumps, and it hasn't happened yet. We did actually manage to cook the barrel off on our MG42, but it took a 200 round belt. But you know, if you look close at this, there is a little bit of wear and tear on it, obviously on the brass deflector and on a couple of the high points, you know, because what I do with this thing is abuse it. I will take it out to the machine gun chutes, take a mag and burn a mag through it, and then literally toss it down onto the ground or onto the table to watch people scream and, oh my God, I can't believe you did that to an M16. And, you know...
But it is an M16 because you have a drop-in sear, so any gun you put it in...
I'll take and wipe that mud off of there, and, you know, it's basically the same as it was. So...
My Lord. What can is on there?
That's a Gemtech Trek. Probably dollar for size. It's probably about the best 5.56 thread on can out there, in my opinion, and I've shot a bunch of them.
And tried to kill him.
Not yet.
All right, folks, so that shows you just how tough the stuff is. We had to throw this bonus footage in. Good times. See you guys.